The farm stir has now officially entered day 35. All eyes are set on the 7th round of talks between the protesting farmers and the centre that's scheduled to happen at 2 p.m. today. This after farm unions wrote to Secretary of the Agriculture Ministry accepting the government's proposal to again hold talks. The farmers have set a 4-point agenda for the talks with centre, which includes modalities to repeal the farm laws and also mechanism to legalise MSP. Yesterday, Home Minister Amit Shah chaired a meet with union ministers as well as government officials ahead of talks with farmers. Now, after the meeting, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said that the talks will head in a positive direction. He further said that the Modi government would not act under any pressure.
किसानों की बैठक से उम्मीद है सर कल
बैठक होगी और कल सभी किसान यूनियन के साथ सरकार बात करेगी और मुझे विश्वास है कि हम लोग सकारात्मक और अच्छी दिशा में बढ़ेंगे, ऐसी मुझे आशा।
A TMC leader has been shot dead in Howrah, leading to tension. Dharmendra Singh was heading home last evening with a friend when bike-borne assailants attacked him. The TMC leader was shot in the chest twice and once in the head. He was declared brought dead when locals took him to the nearby hospital. His friend, who is also injured, is in a serious condition. TMC's alleged that BJP is behind the TMC workers' killing. After the incident, violent protests also broke out in the Howrah area. Protesters vandalized shops and also torched vehicles. Security has been beefed up in the area to ensure that law and order is brought under control.
बहुत पैसा खरीदा, दुकान फार्म तोड़ करके माल चूर किया, आज पर खत्म। वही 40 का लड़का लोग आके माल चूर दिया, दुकान फोड़ दिया, पूरा दुकान में पैसा।
यहाँ पे हम लोग दुकानदारी कर रहे, तब तक वहाँ से हमारे घोज बना के आए, सारा दुकान तोड़ने लगा। हम लोग भागा दौड़ी हो गया, कस्टमर खा रहा था, हम लोग बैठे हुए थे, हम लोग डर के मारे भाग गए। हम लोग इतना तक भी नहीं जाने क्या हुआ नहीं हुआ, पूरा दुकान को देखे कि पूरा वास्ता खराब है।
Let's also get you the latest political updates from Bengal, where Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee held a massive roadshow in Birbhum district's Bolpur city. Invoking Tagore legacy, the TMC Supremo reignited the insider versus outsider debate. Also taking a jibe at Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who'd held a rally in the same area, in the same city. She said that BJP workers from Delhi, leaders from Delhi who don't even know who Rabindranath Tagore was, are coming to Bengal and trying to communalize the state. Indrajit Kundu gets you all the updates.
Bolpur, home to the Vishwa Bharati University, founded by Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, is once again the focal point of Bengal politics. Chief Minister Mamta Banerjee led a 5-kilometer march on Friday, highlighting Bengal's culture, just days after Home Minister Amit Shah held a rally in the same area.
Trinamool Congress's poll plank this time is to target the BJP as a party of outsiders, one that does not understand the culture of Bengal, and therefore Mamta Banerjee has chosen Birbhum this time around, trying to send across a message even as the Rabindra Sangeet plays in the backdrop.
The TMC Supremo, who led a group of artists on the streets, invoked the Gurudev to target the BJP. Last week, Prime Minister Narendra Modi too had spoken about Tagore's legacy at an online event to mark 100 years of Vishwa Bharati, a function Mamta claims she was not invited to.
गुरुदेव ने कभी ये कामना, गुरुदेव ने हमें स्वदेशी समाज का संकल्प दिया था। वो हमारे गांवों को, हमारी कृषि को आत्मनिर्भर देखना चाहते थे।
Mamta's roadshow stood out for one more reason. Vasudev Das Baul, the folk singer who had hosted Amit Shah for lunch at his home earlier this month, was a participant in the Chief Minister's procession. If Bolpur was a peaceful show of strength, the BJP-TMC face-off played out in a violent manner in Nandigram in Purb Medinapur district. Supporters of the two parties clashed ahead of a rally by Suvendu Adhikari, the BJP's prize catch from the TMC. The TMC and BJP blamed each other for the street fight. With Indrajit Kundu, Bureau Report, India Today.
Disappointment for Rajinikanth fans because 2 days after getting discharged from the hospital in Hyderabad, Thalaivar has announced that he will not be launching his political party. Rajinikanth apologized to his fans who were left heartbroken, of course, after his announcement. He cited health concerns as the reason behind his U-turn on politics.
The Thalaivar's fans are heartbroken. It was an anti-climax they were least prepared for. Rajinikanth has backed out of launching his political party. The actor who faced a health scare last week saw his ailment as a signal from God. In a 3-page long statement posted on Twitter, the superstar cited his health condition for not entering politics. Rajinikanth says he will continue to serve the people of Tamil Nadu and has apologized to his fans.
It's unfortunate. So it's only 2 years before only he told I am coming. So it is not a very... So it's not for us. It's not a big loss for us because we are already 40 years we are followers. Again we will follow him. If he is good and well, his health condition is well, so we are happy.
Rajinikanth's colleague in the film industry and politician in making, Kamal Haasan says the news disappointed him.
நண்பர் ரஜினியின் அறிக்கையை பற்றி அனைவரும் கேட்பார்கள். கேட்பதற்கு முன்னால் நான் சொல்லுகிறேன். பிரச்சார பயணம் முடிந்த பிறகு சென்னை சென்றவுடன் அவரை மீண்டும் சந்திப்பேன். என்னை பொறுத்தவரை அவர்கள் ரசிகர்களின் மனோநிலை தான் எனக்கு சற்றே ஏமாற்றம் இருந்தாலும் அவருடைய ஆரோக்கியம் எனக்கே மிக முக்கியமான ஒரு விஷயம். என் ரஜினி நலமாக இருக்க வேண்டும். எங்கிருந்தாலும் நலமாக வாழ வேண்டும்.
The ruling AIADMK has sought the superstar's support now that he is not entering the fray.
What is going to be the stance of BJP? We tried talking to the BJP leaders from the state. They do not want to answer. But AIADMK very categorically, in fact, the minister Jayakumar said that they still believe that Rajinikanth would extend his support to AIADMK. DMK has still not given any word on it, but everyone say that first and foremost thing is Rajinikanth and his health. Rest can wait. With camera person Divyan, Pramod Madhav, for India Today.
Let's also get you a sense of what the new year is going to look like. World is set to enter into 2021. New Year celebrations this year will simply not be the same. Restrictions for New Year's Eve have been announced. In Punjab, there will be a 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. curfew till January 1st. And celebrations will only be allowed with COVID guidelines. Rajasthan has banned parties and the use of firecrackers. There will be a night curfew in cities with more than 1 lakh population. Markets in the state will also close by 7 p.m. Gujarat, meanwhile, has banned any form of public gathering. There will be night curfew in Mumbai. Parties have been completely banned. No gathering will be allowed in Karnataka till January 2nd. Himachal Pradesh has also ordered imposition of night curfew till January 5th. Uttarakhand has banned parties in public places. Delhi will witness muted celebrations with police permission. In Chennai, beach parties have been banned.
As per the government guidelines, all SOPs are in place. All our staff is fully equipped with mask shields, with masks, with gloves, sanitizing right from the entrance to inside, which is done from time to time. We are taking all precautions to make our guests safe and be happy and to be able to entertain them as much as possible.
If the table is for 4, the only 2 people are allowed to sit on that table. So we have kept the sitting for about 42 people in the same time, considering all those guidelines. But as of now, we have already given our place to someone, say about 40-45 people, considering this thing, like not more than 50 people can come inside the restaurant because our sitting capacity is around 100. So, but still, like normally we do get a lot of inquiries in New Year. This year, like the inquiries are less.
The highly contagious UK strain of novel coronavirus has been detected in India, with 6 people who recently travelled to UK testing positive for the new strain. The government, however, says that while the mutant strain is more transmissible, it's not deadlier than the other existing strains.
The mutant novel coronavirus that forced a fresh lockdown in the United Kingdom has made its way into India. Of the 33,000 passengers who came from UK to India between 25th November and 22nd December, 114 passengers tested positive for COVID. Genome sequencing has shown 6 of them have the new strain. 3 samples tested positive at NIMHANS, Bengaluru, 2 at the Centre for Cellular and Molecular Biology, Hyderabad, and 1 at the National Institute of Virology, Pune. The mutant B117 is 70% more transmissible.
Accumulating mutations in any living organism, including viruses, it's a natural process, and therefore we should not worry about the natural process of virus accumulating mutations. It is not killing more number of people. So it's only spreading to more number of people, but it's not any more lethal than the previous strain. Therefore, we should not be worried too much about it.
The government says while the new strain is more transmissible, there's no evidence it is deadlier than the earlier one.
एक चेंज ऐसा है जो जब वायरस हमारे सेल्स के अंदर आती है, एक रिसेप्टर से अटैच करके अंदर जाती है. इस अटैचमेंट की एफिनिटी वो जो लगान जो है वो ज्यादा कर देती है, इसीलिए ट्रांसमिशन ज्यादा हो सकती है. So there is no evidence that the current vaccines will fail to protect against COVID-19 on the variants reported from UK or South Africa.
The government is taking no chances. Patients who have tested positive are being kept in single-room isolation at healthcare facilities in their states. Their close contacts are quarantined.
11 months into the pandemic, India is now looking at an entry of the new mutant coronavirus strain that has come from the United Kingdom. 6 who have tested positive have been kept in various isolation facilities. The government doesn't want to take a chance because this strain has particularly been found to be 70% more infectious than the previous strain that came from China and other places. With Premchand Mishra, this is Milan Sharma for India Today.
Over to some other stories. Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadauria has read out the Riot Act to China. Addressing a seminar, the IAF chief said that any serious conflict with India does not suit China's global aspirations. Air Chief Marshal Bhadauria also said that China has resorted to heavy deployment of its air assets to support its army in view of the border standoff in eastern Ladakh, but at the same time asserted that India took every action required to deal with the situation. The IAF chief also said Pakistan has become a pawn of Chinese policy and its dependence on China would increase further in future. Amid the ongoing border conflict with China, Indian and French Air Force are going to carry out an exercise called Skyros in Jodhpur in the 3rd week of January. That is in 2021, involving their Rafale fighter planes. This would be the maiden war game of IAF's Rafales, which were inducted into the service in August 2020 by the Narendra Modi government.
Any serious Indo-China conflict is not good for China at the global front. If Chinese aspirations are global, then it does not suit their grand plans, and therefore, what could be the possible Chinese objective for their actions in the north? This is important to understand.
So the rift between Nepal Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli and his rival Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda has intensified. Nepal plunged into a political crisis last Sunday after Prime Minister Oli dissolved the parliament. Now as Beijing has a high-level team trying to bring about a rapprochement between the feuding leaders, Prachanda has called upon India to step in and help. Geeta Mohan and Sujit Jha report.
Nepal is in turmoil. Hundreds of protesters took to streets, raising their voices against the Prime Minister and the President's decision to dissolve Parliament. Waving red flags as a symbol of protest, people demanded Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli's resignation.
यो आन्दोलन प्रतिनिधि सभा हाम्रो केपी सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्री ज्यू केपी शर्मा ओली ज्यूले प्रतिनिधि सभा विघटन गरेको विषयमा हो यो आन्दोलन म यो प्रतिनिधि सभा विघटन प्रति म घोर विरोध गर्दछु
नेपाली जनता आक्रोशित पनि छन् र यो 5 वर्षको म्यान्डेट दिएका नेपाली जनताले र 5 वर्षको म्यान्डेटमा भन्दा संविधान विपरीत यो विघटन गरेकोमा आम नेपाली जनता यसको विरुद्धमा छन्
Oli says internal squabbling and a lack of cooperation from his party has paralyzed decision-making, forcing him to seek a fresh popular mandate. His main challenger, Nepal Communist Party leader Prachanda, sought India's help to end the crisis.
लोकतन्त्रवादी भन्ने देशहरू अझ पार्लियामेन्ट्री डेमोक्रेसीको सबभन्दा चाहिँ ठुलो प्रवक्ताका रूपमा आफूलाई भन्ने देशहरू अमेरिका होस् या युरोप भारत होस् या अरु कोहीले यत्रो नेपालमा संविधान निर्ममतापूर्वक कुल्चिएको छ हुँदै नभएको ढंगले चाहिँ हत्या गरिएको छ संसद भंग गरेर यस्तो बेलामा लोकतन्त्रवादी देशहरू किन नबोलेका होलान्
A high-level Chinese delegation of the Communist Party of China met top Nepal Communist Party leaders on Monday in an effort to patch up differences between Nepal leaders. While Beijing is seen as influencing decision-making in Nepal, India is cautiously monitoring the developments in Kathmandu, determined to engage whoever is in power. With Sujit Jha and Geeta Mohan, Bureau Report, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.